Venezuela just wrapped up a contentious election. Let's get into it. So why is this important? Why do we care? Venezuela just wrapped up the presidential election in which this guy, Nicolas Maduro, won by a landslide. And following his victory, which was probably fraudulent, he saw a crackdown on his political opponents. You also see regional neighbors Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia calling for transparency of the election. As well as popular protests, you can find these all over Twitter, just type in Venezuela. Everything as it stands right now, a lot of context behind this one, including the above. Above we have a map of Venezuela and neighboring Guyana, as well as the huge oil discovery that was made offshore, and the shaded portion, which is part of Guyana, however Venezuela claims it as its own territory. They also held a referendum above in which they voted to annex those parts of Guyana. This is not the first time Venezuela has gone through something like this. Everybody remembers a few years ago, Juan Guaido. He was a political opponent of Nicolas Maduro. He was backed by the G7, most of the Western world. That vote and transition of power never ended up happening. A lot of things happened in between. He now lives in exile in the United States. In part, those events of a few years ago is why Venezuela is so heavily sanctioned now. With the onset of the Russia-Ukraine war and countries looking for energy security, the U.S. had lifted a lot of those sanctions. However, with this news, we're likely to see them return.